Hello, boys and girls. Time for another weekly stack. Yeah, it's usually going on. So hopefully, it sounds like my fridge is getting delivered today. So hopefully this afternoon I'll have a working fridge. Iffy if they, I don't know. They didn't ask me if I needed a hookup kit. I think I don't need a hookup kit, but again, my current fridge is kind of crap and isn't hooked up. So who knows the stat of the hookup kit? So well, wish me luck. Yep, wipe kit's still on the way. So hopefully after the fridge, I can get all the floors finished painting. So I'm kind of assuming they're going to scuff stuff up a little bit. So I was kind of holding off on that. But of course now, rainy, cold front, yay, winter weather, friggin' hell. So let's just jump in here. So I got a little stack of this and that. Listening over the week, playing a little more, I don't know, I get a Game Pass from work, so I've been playing a little Star Wars Battlefront a bit. So not as big of a stack as usual. Spooky Tooth, this is their second album. It's pretty good. I like their first one a lot better actually, but it's still a pretty good album. Little psych, bluesy psych, I guess. Um, yeah, I don't know. Listened to it last weekend. I honestly can't remember what's good and what's not, but it's kind of like a 4-star-ish album. I think they don't go for a lot. I paid less than 10 for that for sure. This one paid like a buck in Japan. This is Santana. I think it's second album, second or third. But, yeah, Japanese pressing. Sounds amazing actually. Yeah, this one I picked up a long time ago. It's a Quadrophenic Japanese pressing. Paid a buck for it at a thrift store. It was kind of in the buck bin. Yeah, it's amazing artwork. I love that artwork. It's kind of a metallic thing. Um, Weird photo comp, I guess. And then they kind of neat filter on it. Really like that. Um, but yeah, was surprisingly good. So I guess like you'd say psychedelic Santana. I don't know. Just gave it the one listen, but definitely be get more listens. Was impressed. Did like it. So early Santana gets a thumbs up for me. I kind of wish I picked up that one with John McLaughlin when I saw it. I saw the 2 copies of one weekend. But yeah, I don't think it's that uncommon. This had on some background music. It kind of suffers from 80s production, but yeah, Bobby Womack, The Poet 2 with Patti LaBelle. You barely tell she's on there though. Oh, it's got George Benson on it, just noticed that. Yeah, kind of, it was alright. Yeah, I don't know, 3.5-ish, whatever. I paid like a couple bucks for this. This was part of that one with all the um, big black, not big black, black flag in the shrink with the misprint, first press stuff. And this is one of those ones I was like, yeah, I better pad this a little bit so he doesn't get suspicious. so, yeah, I picked this up. It was actually pretty good. I'm like, yeah, it was good. Not great, but it was good. 3.5-ish. I don't know. It might get purged later, but it's not going immediately. This is that Repress Gun Club. What's the title? This is their first album, Fire of Love. This is the one that has Sex Beat on it. Really good album. And She's Like Heroin to me. Those are really standout tracks on this. Excellent album. Pressing's not terrible, but it's noisy, which is kind of surprising. It did come in I think I put it in the plastic sleeve, but it came in like a custom sleeve, which is that kind of that smooth material. So you would have expected to get a little bit quieter, but I guess the pressing itself is a little noisy. So yeah, I was not impressed with the actual pressing. It has reasonable dynamics, but it has way too much surface noise for what it was. I guess it's an import or something. I don't know. It's like Spanish or something. Munster Records, the U. But yeah, I think when I put it in Discogs, it was like a Spanish pressing or something. I don't know. It was little noisy for what I paid for it, but I guess I was paying the import fees. But yeah, I don't know. Love the album. Yeah, it's like a 4.5 on there. It's not a perfect album by any means, but it is a great album. And when it's good, it's really good. But yeah, it's slightly noisier than I would hope, but it's better than the Italian pressings I've been picking up lately. This one I've had for years. Lou Reed, Rock and Roll Animals. This is like a live album. It is a live album, I should say. So Gatefold. Pretty sure this is an original pressing. First, it had a Stones inner sleeve from Black and Blue, I think. But yeah, it came like that. I think I picked this up at a thrift store for like probably like 10 cents or something back in the 90s. But I haven't listened to this in a while. This is actually a really good album. So yeah, I guess if you like Lou Reed, you like Velvet Underground, you're gonna really like it. If you're not a big Lou Reed fan, probably stay away. But yeah, if you like Lou Reed, it's a strong album. So, I don't know. For me, it's like a 4.5-ish. So it's got Sweet Jane and Heroin, White Light, White Heat, Lady Day, and Rock and Roll. So it's a lot of stuff from like Transformer and like the last half of Velvet Underground. So yeah, excellent live album, great recording. You guys know it. Don't have to say too much about that one. It's a great album. This one, I think I mentioned one of Sean's live chats. So this is the 50th anniversary repress of American Beauty. This is an amazing pressing. This is a 5-star all around. Yeah, it's not a gatefold or anything. I don't think the original was either. But yeah, they did a really good job. It's really thick cardboard stock. Comes in like a nice poly sleeve, like really thick one. Super pressing. Somebody was saying like if you hold it up to light, it looks purple, but mine doesn't do that. It's not translucent at all. But I heard some people said theirs was like a purple almost if they held it up to light, but mine seems to be a solid black. Yeah, whatever. But yeah, amazing pressing, amazing mastering. If you don't have it or you need an upgrade copy, the 50th anniversary, at least the black one, does sound amazing. You know it, you love it. Don't need to talk too much about it, but just this particular pressing is amazing. If you need a new one. This one I don't know. I was just kind of in the mood for some classical at some point. So this is like one of those. Probably like one of those subscription type deals, or you get the library records. So Ravel had Bolero and some of his earlier works. It comes with a nice book detailing his history and the history of the music. So it was actually a really interesting listen. So I enjoyed that. Yeah, I don't know. I'm still not a massive classical guy, but I think it does tend to lend itself to CD a lot more than vinyl. But yeah, I don't know. I had another copy of Bolero on Deutsche Grammophon, but maybe it just needs cleaning. It was a little noisy, so that's why I pulled this one out. So I did I think last year I picked up a bunch of classical at the thrift. Just they always had tons of classical, and that was before they raised their prices. So I was like, yeah, it was like 50 cents. So I was like, yeah, I was gonna buy a ton of classical, and I picked up a lot of Time Life those boxes because I was going to try to listen and read a bit about a classical, and that hasn't really happened. But yeah, especially with the kid and wife being around, I think I'm going to slow down on the collection a little bit and kind of focus on. I got most of my top 100. There's like 2 or 3 top 100s I don't have, or I want to get on vinyl that I have on CD. But for the most part, I got most of them over the last year. But yeah, there's a few I'm hunting down still, and yeah, I did pre-order. I not pre-order, but I ordered one on Amazon. It was out of stock, and everyone else had $100 copies, and I found it on Amazon for like 16. So I was like, okay, order. But I 50/50 it shows up. It did give me a download, so I guess they charged me for it. So yeah, I'm not happy with that one. But I thought I thought when it was out of stock they didn't charge you. I will have to look at that. Anyway, this was something I picked up last year. I just never listened to it because it was Christmas music. Yeah, Charlie Bird's really great. I saw him a couple times back in like maybe the 90s or late 80s, early 90s maybe. So he's local to this area, Washington D.C., Annapolis area. I think he was living in Annapolis. But yeah, jazz guitarist. Yeah, other stuff I've found in the area. Yeah, he's one of those. Yeah, occasionally you see him at the thrifts around here just because he's from this area. I would think you'd see it more, but you don't. Yeah, when it's good, it's really good, but most of this is pretty meh, to be honest. The opening tracks on both sides, which is probably why they're the opening tracks. Oh Holy Night and What Child Is This? He did a really good job on. A lot of these others are kind of meh, but no, it's all instrumental, guitar, Spanish, pick it, whatever. But yeah, yeah, mediocre Christmas album. I was inspired because of Randy's video, so pop that on. And, honestly, I was expecting more out of that one, but it does have some really good tracks. So if you see it on the cheap, it might be worth picking up still. This was one I picked up a while back. I just hadn't been in the mood for it for a while. Sounds really good, actually. I think I paid like $5 or $6 for it, whatever. So this live album, it's a mini LP, which is neat. It says it all over the labels too. But yeah, still, for what I paid, it's actually a really good really good copy, not like real service noise. So this has a live version of I Will Follow, Sunday Bloody Sunday, New Year's Day. It has a bunch of their earlier songs, which, I don't know, they don't hold up as well, but the hits are really good on it. So, and a new low price. But for being a cheapy album, I was like, oh, Discogs, they actually had a lot of live albums in their early days. Yeah, I guess they were quite the live band back in the day. Probably still are, but I don't think anyone cares what you do anymore. But yeah, I don't know. I still want to pick up some more early U2 because I hardly have any. But yeah, I'm not going to pay full retail on that one. Just, nostalgic kick, I guess, because I was on the alternative radio an awful lot when I was a kid. This was a great album, too. Yeah, so Pylon, this is their first album. Again, like the Gun Club, this one, unlike the Gun Club, is a really good pressing. It sounds nice and clean, and nice and dynamic. This is the first repress since like the '80s, so whatever. It's not a perfect 5, but 4.5-ish. So it says debut album from seminal post-rock legends Pylon. I don't know if they're legends, but those in the know, I guess, know. Remastered original tapes in the fertile art rock scene of Athens, Georgia in the early 80s. The band to beat was Python. 8.8 by Pitchfork, America's best rock band, Slate. But yeah, it's not like full-on solid all the way through, but it's a really good album. It's definitely worth having, and I want to pick up a couple of these, one or two of the other Pylon reissues that came out recently. But yeah, it's a great one. The originals, I think they're 50-ish. Yeah, they're not like, they don't go for massive money, but they're not cheap unless you luck into them, I guess. So yeah, quite happy with this one. I think it's a polyline. Yeah, it's just like one of those slick inner sleeves. So I might throw a poly in there later. But yeah, there wasn't really surface noise or anything, so that was cool. Pylon, self-titled, I guess. Yeah, self-titled. No, this is Gyrate. Yeah, Pylon Gyrate. And last one. This was just a thrift pickup a couple months ago, I guess. Lobo. I didn't. Yeah, it was in the shrink. I just took a chance on it because it had some other cool albums in there in the same vicinity. So I thought, yeah, it might be worth checking out. It's okay. I just knew them by name, I guess, or maybe I was confused with the comic book. I don't know. Yeah, kind of a cool label. Big Tree. I think the later pressings were a little more big for a larger label. It's a division of Columbia, actually. Okay, so yeah, I think probably his later repressings were Columbia. Not sure this is even the first press, so it's an early one. So it's still in the shrink, so give it a try. Kind of singer-songwriter. The production on this is really, really nice. It's a great sounding album, but it's background music, if I'm honest. It's not terrible. It's like a 3, but it's not Jim Croce or whatever his name is, or Lightfoot, but it's kind of in that vein. It's not the same caliber. But definitely, it makes for pleasant background music, is what I'd say. So, unoffensive, soft rock singer-songwriter with really good production is how I describe it. So it's almost done here. So this is one of the freebies. My parents are cleaning out their collection I snagged up. So Jackie Wilson. This comp is one of those double. So it comes with a double CD. It's that weird flip thing that was coming out in the. I guess it came out with the late '90s or so. So it's got one of those kind of deals. So probably has. They're both like it's like 60 tracks or something crazy. But yeah, you know, it's R&B, whatever. You kind of know the genre, so. Yeah, definitely not the best recordings of the era, but they're reasonably good. So yeah, it's a good comp. So if you need some Jackie Wilson, I would recommend that one. Probably has it would definitely have all his hits, I guess. And then yeah, this one because Sean was talking about it recently. Fiona Apple. This is her debut album, I guess you see in England. Title. Yes, this is the one that has like Shadow Boxer, Criminal. Had the two really big radio hits on it. But yeah, I don't know. I think I'd slightly prefer this to her newer album. They're both really good albums. So Sean, you might this. I don't know. I got it free, but I always see these at like the thrift shops. So I'm sure you can get this for like $1 or $2. So pick it up if you see it. If you like that last one, yeah, it's not as angry. It's not the angry album like the new one, but I think it's just as good, if not better. Anyway, I hope everyone has a great week. So I got to clear the way for my fridge to get here and kind of decide what I'm doing with all the meat I have stockpiled in there. Hopefully it doesn't go bad. Guess I'm running to 7-Eleven later. And hopefully I can get all the painting, at least the floor painting, done this weekend and have a couple weeks to actually relax when the kid gets here. Joy, I got a big stack of birthday records too. I haven't even gotten to yet, but I don't know, I just haven't been in the mood for sitting down and listening to music. So everyone, have a good one. Keep this nice. Oh, it's running long already. Have a good one, and I got to do a few chores this morning. Later.